Welcome to the Activity Call Live, and now our host, Andy Albright.
Alex Abuyuan.
Andy Albright. Got function voice.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to tell you what. Woo! That throat, baby. I need me some throat coat.
Throat coat.
Knowing my wife, she'll hear me say that, and she'll bring something up here in a minute. She'll be like, you need to keep that money maker, that squawking box working, because that thing prints the money, baby. Whoa!
That's right.
Adam Katz, what's going on, bro?
Rocking and rolling. Momentum's through the roof, dude. Coming off convention. Unbelievable. Everybody's attitude.
I think it's the best reaction to a convention we've ever had. People that were there, and even people that were not there, went and bought a breakthrough ticket. Like this one beautiful couple that we have, they had a son getting married, and they said, just, how you going to skip your son's wedding? And I was like, I could explain to you how to do it, but you can't. You can't explain to other people how to do that. Just don't do it. It'll mess up your credibility. Don't do it. So, they weren't there. Guess what they did? They went on and bought 2 tickets and got 2 of their top people to buy 2 tickets. They had like 16 people there, anywhere 14, I can't remember. And they bought tickets. And I mean, not everybody at the convention bought a ticket to breakthrough, because, we were pushing 1,500. We didn't hit our 1,500 mark. We sold that many tickets, sold 1,550. We didn't get our 1,500 people there. But, we sold 500 tickets Saturday night. Sunday morning, they were sold out. So now we're going to NatCom. And I'll tell you what, you two guys, coincidentally being on this call, y'all did the first TWC, the Wednesday call. You did the first one after the convention. I've never seen so much feedback and commotion about what you guys taught on. I mean, the reaction to the convention, and then A&A, I guess we got the AAA on here now, but Abian and Adam got on there and just laid out the law, and people going like, all right, if that's what I got to do to become a multi-millionaire, I'm going to do it. So I want to thank you guys for doing what you did. I've read notes that people took. I was like, I don't know if I should copy and paste. No, you should. If you didn't jump on their call, you need to get on it, because I mean, they laid it out crystal clear how to create the think about this, multi 6-figure monthly income, $200,000 a month, $300,000 a month, $500,000 a month. Adam, you've had a month you made $100,000, hadn't you?
Yeah, yes, sir. It was fun. It was fun making it. It was fun.
I had a month of You've not had a $200,000 a month, have you?
No, I have not had that.
You've not had a $200,000 a month. Avian, have you had a $200,000 a month?
Not yet.
You've made 6 figures in a month.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So
yes,
it is fun. It is fun, the difference in making 6 figures over 12 and making 6 figures in 1. You're making the same kind of money, just making it faster. How many times I have to say this? You're just making it faster. All we got to do is do it faster. So what we want to do today is devote the call to how to do it faster, quicker. And let me tell you something. I want the hey, by the way, had more people jump on a conference call than we've had in 90 days since the last convention. They were on it. So I got a question for you. Would you rather your wife get up early this morning, put on lipstick, take a shower, get dressed up to go to work, to go out in traffic, go get a job, go to their work? Or would you rather your wife get up early and promote this conference call? Because somebody sent a text, said, guess what I did this morning? I woke up early, and they're out Midwest. They said, I woke up early to promote this conference call. And I just said smart, brilliant. But what I want to say is, would you rather get up, put lipstick on, take a shower, put some deodorant, put on a cute outfit to go to work to impress the boss, the clientele, people you meet on the street, or would you want to get up early in your jammies and start texting? You know what I mean? It's just life's options. It's not sleeping in and being lazy. It's about this or this, getting bigger or better. So anyway, and then the other thing I want to say is you guys. Like I really, as much as I'm talking to the 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people that are watching, is you guys, because I really care about y'all too, and I want to see y'all get to that multi-six figure. So, and I know y'all got some feedback from your call. That's the first thing I started with. What kind of feedback have you got, especially cross-line, Adam, people that are not in your group, maybe some in your group, and then go to Abuyuan.
Yeah, it was crazy. When the call ended and I looked at my phone, I had more text messages than I think I've ever had, in a 15-minute window. Just everybody, great call. Thank you for laying it out. Highlighting a certain line or something like that. It was just, the whole team was just on fire about the momentum that the call's able to generate. And, it's, just laying out the information that you gave us, to be clear, we were, Alex and I were just taking your coaching and your mentorship and being your mouthpiece on Wednesday. But watching the WhatsApp, the AM managers WhatsApp go crazy. And then Stephen Handy showed me after the call how many comments, during the call had been coming in, and just crazy good stuff. People want to be coached. People want to be challenged. People want to go to the next level. It is the biggest thing that I've gotten from it.
What kind of feedback, text messages back, Abuyuan, comments? What are you hearing?
I had a lot of people that said, "Hey, can I get with you and, tell me what I need to do?" And to me, it was like, wow, that's a pretty great compliment, both in my group and outside my group. And I think, Andy, like we've all three of us, we've known each other for so long that, I think you're secure in our relationship, that you can tell us what we need to do. And we take it. It's like, we take it because it's what we need to do, right? Adam and I just believe in you. We believe in that you love us and you want the best for us. So as hard as you can be on us, we don't think anything of it. And I think people are not hearing that. They're not hearing, like, cut through the BS, man, and just tell me what I need to do, because we want to preserve relationships. And sometimes we're not sure, we want to keep you in. We don't want to blow you out if we tell you what you really need to do. So I think the conference call for Adam and I gave us an opportunity to hit him upside the head with truth bombs. And, maybe something we wouldn't do exactly one-on-one, depending on a relationship. But on a conference call, when you just hit them upside the head with truth, I think people appreciate that. And that's why the kind of feedback I was getting is, man, you just really told us, like, no, quit if you don't want to do what you need to do. It's like, you don't belong with us then, right? You're not invited to that room. You can stay in the other room where you can just feel good, and it's kind of like peeing on yourself. It feels warm for a while. Or you can get into the other room, and the other room means you got to work. It's like Matthew Kelly said in his book, Off Balance. People that have a commitment to changing the world and changing their lives are in another room. And it's not a 40-hour week room, Andy. It's something you taught us from jump.
Andy, it was interesting you started off with talking about that lady in the text message, because before you got on, before the call started, Alex and I were just talking about, we haven't had a job in 20 plus years. We work harder than we ever worked at our jobs. We put in longer hours than we ever worked at our jobs. But the freedom and the flexibility to control our schedules and to work where we want to work, and just do life in different locations, because you have shown us a path to that freedom of controlling our time and our money. It's just the craziest thing, and to think that this is now 21 years we've been able to live like this.
I know, and we're so grateful for it. I was telling Adam that Jeannie and I were with some friends at a Mexican restaurant, a bunch of friends, and a lot of them are older, and they're talking about, oh, how long have you been retired? And, Jenny just said it out in front of everybody. She goes, I don't know what retirement means. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? And I kind of interpreted her. It's, how do you retire from making an impact on people's lives? Like, when do you retire from that? It's like Billy Graham. Did Billy Graham retire? He didn't retire, man. Why? Because he had a mission. And I don't see, what does retirement mean? How do we retire from impacting people's lives? And I were talking about this before we came on here, dude, and you're still doing it. You're traveling every dadgum week and you're going out there impacting people. Like, you are the ultimate example of that.
So I'm promoting people that on your phone to go to the Ark. If you're watching this, stay on this. But I've got an iPad in front of me and I got a phone in front of me. On my iPad, I pulled up the Ark and I go to connections. There's a business, team, carriers, resources, connections. One of the situations with the alliance is we're so massive. You don't have one tab. You've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs. Go across to connections, scroll down to Alliance Adventures, which is the next to the last. Click on that, and that gives you the events that are coming up. So our breakthrough is sold out. Our national convention is has not. You can't buy tickets yet, but the dates are on there. Make sure the dates are on there. Yep, the dates are on there. January 26th through 28th. But what I want you to click on, go to there, go to hotspots, and look at what's coming up. So boot camp Saturday, Mike Hartlib is going to be in our office on Treasure Island. And I'm sitting here thinking of people that should be on this call and should be at that boot camp. I went on the call and I go to work. So I'm going to go, Anthony. I'm gonna, hopefully he's on this call. I'm going to send him a thing of this call. And I'm going to say, can you jump on? Can you jump on? And I'm trying to the conference 10:30 until 2:30 at the Alliance home office, not home office, the office, one of the Alliance's offices on Treasure Island. We got Steve Merritt. That's part of your team, right, Abuyuan?
No, he's under Mike and Kerry Williams.
Different organization.
Yeah, Mike and Kerry
Williams. We got Juice, who is part of your group. So you can go through this. Abuyuan's going to be in Indiana, Speedway, Indiana. Katz is going to be. So you start thinking, this is where I need to get my people plugged in. So this is kind of a morning ritual for you. Whenever you're talking to people, I don't think you can see it if I hold it up, but I just scroll through all the meetings that are coming up so that I've kind of got familiar that what's coming up in the future and what's coming up immediately. And I start, because I want to get people to, I want to expose them to success. I have seen managers in the past try to keep their people, I call it, treat them like a mushroom, right? You know how to grow mushrooms, right? You put them in the dark, you feed them dookie. You put manure in there, and and they puff up to little mushrooms. Well, if you treat your people like mushrooms, they're going to puff up to like little mushrooms. They're not going to become oak trees. Oak trees don't go and grow in the dark. They do like manure, but they like the light of day. DAE, right? So this is my first thing, to look at these meetings that are coming up. So the call was about being the number one in the alliance, being the top 7, top 2, top 3 fastest growing. The first thing you want to do is get your people to these meetings that the superstars, that the leaders do. It's just, there's not a real substitute for that. Zoom calls, like, watch me reach out and touch Abuyuan, right? I'm going to touch you, right? And my smile, it's not the same in 3 dimensions. I imagine they'll have Zooms that come in 3 dimensions eventually. And you can hear the tone of my voice, thank God. And you can see my little jersey, my little uniform. By the way, how to connect with me? this is one of the things people at the convention, Lord have mercy, connect. Thank you. I'm not objecting. Nobody's talking to me too much. How to sign up for the convention, the next one, family reunion. You can't sign up, but at least you can get on a waiting list. And I will add this. I'm not sure if it's possible, staff, but if you can add a sign up for the waiting list on this hotspots, if you can't, let's just text it out and let's get people signing up on the wait list. Text it out during this meeting. So what we're doing is we're already selling tickets to the national convention. So, the simplest things that you have to do, like reading 15 minutes to become elite. You know how many people with us are making six figures, making multi-six figures, and they're not reading 15 minutes? Well, Andy, I'd be happy making multi-six figures. Cool. You want to make multi-six figures per month? I need you reading 15 minutes every day. Simple. It's so easy not to do it. What's something else, Adam, that I really preach that's so simple, but yet we have people don't do it. Skip it. Skip a day. Skip 2 days.
You know, one of my favorite lines that I've ever heard from you, and I've known you a very long time, but you said it in Denver. You said, you know, people come up to you all the time and say, man, I'd trade an arm and a leg to have the kind of business you have. And you said, why don't you keep your parts and just make more phone calls?
That's not as dramatic as your right testicle, but I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Just keep your parts and make more phone calls. Just on a daily basis, do something positive for your business. You know, it's like just talk to 10 new people a day, either on the phone or meet them, or, you know, talk to a new person in depth. You know, we have a tendency, you know, the bigger your agency gets, you have a tendency to keep talking to the same people over and over again. And you keep reminding me over and over again, you need to be talking to new people. Don't talk to the comfortable ones, the ones who already know what you're going to say anyway. You need to be on the phone talking to the brand new people over and over again.
That's good stuff. Keep your parts. Would you be willing to, like, you don't have to give up your right arm or any other part. How about just make phone calls? I'd give up everything. Would you make a few phone calls? Would you call 100 people a day?
I would do anything but that, as Meatloaf sang.
Hey, watch. I don't know if I work this with a screen. Well, how would this work? Like, you can't see it, can you? You can't scare people. I can't scare people with a screen like this. It don't show up. It's a screen where you dial the y'all know. How about you, Abuyuan? What's something so calling people? What's something else is so simple?
Oh man, probably one of the simplest things is whenever you're feeling lost and you don't know what to do, is to reach upline to your growing upline and call them. Like the whole idea of communication is the same idea when you talk about communicating and calling out to people, calling new people. It's calling upline, and we got so many people trying to figure it out on their own. It's like, dude, seriously, why do you take a week to commiserate before you call me? It's like you could have called me a week ago and we could have taken care of it and moved on to the next dadgum thing. You know what I mean? Like, why waste any time if you're feeling lost, alone, whatever? And like I said yesterday, when you call me, don't recount your history when you were born. Just tell me what we need to help you with and let's move on. And typically it's get on the phone and make dials and book your calendar, you know, but you know, people need.
How about this one, Abuyuan? I'm not going to call you and talk to you because I know what you're going to say.
Oh my gosh.
How do you know what I'm going to say? What do you mean? I may say something different than you think I'm going to say.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Besides what you've already told us, what should I be doing next?
Yeah. I think one of the most important
things.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Alex.
Well, I was just going to say, one of the significant things you taught me, Andy, was I come to you with like 10 different things that are going on in my life. And you said, Abian, okay, let's just take one at a time. And then you solved each one at a time. It's like, oh, holy crap. That was easy. I don't feel so bad. You know how you just make it so simple. Like, okay, let's just take them one by one, dude. And then boom, you just like knocked them out. Okay. So,
and I'll do this. And I know you do this with AB and with people too, but all right, what's the one, if you don't do this, you're going to go to jail. Okay. There's another one. If you do this, you're going to make an extra 50,000 this month. So if you have a list of things, a lot of the things that are stressing you don't mean much.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of things that have extremes. Like, I really think this will change my life if I do it. Okay. I really think this will change my life if I do it. In other words, extremely negative or extremely positive. Give me which one matters the most, and let's try to handle that one. Then after we get a game plan, we go to number 2. A lot of times, once you fix 3 things, if a person says they've got 27 things, once you first fix the first 3 most dramatic, a lot of times they don't even care about
the rest.
4 through 27.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's simple, but not everybody understands that technology.
Yeah.
Not everybody understands first things first, or the 4 quadrants of execution. They just never read those books because they're not doing 15 minutes a day. A lot of people say, how can I get to those books doing 15 minutes a day? You do it for a month. You see how many books you read. It'll blow your mind. 15 solid minutes is shocking what you can get through, the number of books in a year. Okay. I would say that 15 minutes of reading. Hello.
Yep.
Hey man, I'm this. Hey, are you reading? Yeah. Don't mean yes, I'm reading. It means yeah, which means nothing. So then you say, really, what book are you reading? Well, I ordered Think and Grow Rich. I ordered Magic Thinking Big. Cool. Here's another one, Adam, I love. Other than, I'd give up a part of my body to live like you live. I'd give up a part of my body to go on that all expense paid trip, Alaskan cruise down the Inner Passage. Oh, it sounds unbelievable. How about this? Hey, what book should I be reading? Have you read 8 Steps to Success? Yes. Have you looked on page 83? Which, by the way, I think with the reprints, it's now on page 85. On page 85, it gives you the books you need to read. And I love people that bring me new books, but they've not read the books on the reading list. So they don't know, they're not in line with me, Alex Abian, Andy Riddle. They're not in line with Mathis. They're not in line with Hartley. They're not in line. Right? They haven't read Millionaire Maker Manual, but yet they found some brilliant book that we've never heard of. And I'm sure it's good for them. We're just not on the same page because we're not in the same books. And I get this. What does that have to do with premium and building a business? And how about that, Abian? What you're listening to, audios and books, what does that have to do with being successful in our organization, Abian? How would you address that?
Wow, dude. It's the idea of building a foundation. Do you want to build your foundation on sand, or do you want to build your foundation on rock? The rock you're trying to build your business on has to be built with the foundation of the knowledge and that Andy Albright has given us through the books that we read. And that foundation will allow you to withstand anything that comes your way by getting your mind right. Your attitude is the most important thing to protect when you're building a business like this, because everything will come at you. The bigger your dream, the bigger your goal, the more the enemy will throw darts at you, throw junk at you, and you have to withstand all the crap. Because, like Michael Hartley said, if you got a pea-sized goal and dream, a pea-sized adversity will bring you down. Every book, and every audio and everything that we surround ourselves with will protect us from the crap that can pull us down into negativity, negative attitude. That's what the book reading does. There's so many other things, but if you don't have that, man, the littlest thing will throw you off. The littlest thing will throw you off. And that, to me, dude, is, the foundation. It's the solid rock of foundation is your attitude that you got to protect through the books and the audios. And it's just amazing how powerful it is when you are armed with that. Just try going without reading. Like, how many agents do that call you with crappy attitudes and you ask them, well, what books are you reading now? Right. They don't. And that, to me, is the mark of the 7 people are the people that will do what they're supposed to do, protect their attitude.
It is crazy how attitude plays into it, and how books keep your attitude on track. During the video leading up to this conference call, Mark Aceta said, "What's bigger, your ego or your pocketbook? Your bank account or your ego? Your income or your ego?" So many times people's ego is so much bigger than their income because they won't let it out of the way. Hey, I got a good question. I want to learn how to better motivate new fast tracks. My upline's great. Some are acting like duds, and some are acting with a promise. Okay? So, Adam, how do you get low and get people high? What do you do, Adam?
You got to leverage the system. Number one is, I'm not going to relate or connect to every single person that we hire or that's part of the organization. So, and there's also things that will motivate people that they'll hear in a different setting that'll move them faster and further. And so, and then there are certain things that you can't say one-on-one to somebody, but you get them on the conference call and they hear Alex Abuyuan say it, they hear Andy Albright say it, they hear Terry Edwards say it, and it just resonates with them. And if I had said it directly to them, they would have gotten mad. But hearing you say it, talking to the whole company, that it's just like, that makes a lot of sense. And so the faster you get people buying in to the culture and buying into our system, the more conviction that they'll have, the faster they'll move without you having to tell them, hey, you need to move. So leveraging the books, leveraging the conference calls, leveraging the hotspots, all the things that you've already talked about. That's the way to get buy-in. And once they buy in, you don't have to motivate them to finish the class. You don't have to motivate them to schedule their exam, because their conviction level is so high that they'll move on their own at that point.
Okay. I'm listening to you because I really want to hear what you think. Abuyuan, if one of your agents comes to you, I do not know if this person, it's a lady. I don't know if I know she's not in your hierarchy because she mentions the upline. She said her upline's helping her, but how do I get these duds and then these promises to turn into productivity? How do I, by the way, I always say this, should you answer the question she's asking, or should you answer the question she should be asking? So her question is, how do I better motivate? What say you, Mr. Abuyuan? What would you say to the lady?
Yeah. And I might have had this conversation with her before. What's interesting is the people that have difficulty, because I get this question and I know I've got it from her. I mean, I know who you're talking about, and they start talking about,
it ain't in your,
dude, seriously. I know it's not in my hierarchy, but I know who you're talking about. So, because I got the exact same question, and it's like, here's why you're asking that question. I mean, I told her this is, you're not hiring enough people that are willing to listen to you, number one. And then you're talking about me.
Whoa. You want me to change? Like, yes. You know what I'm saying? You want her to recruit more people?
I
Like
know, man.
you're blaming it on quantity.
It's funny. It's a funny question, but it's weird because you got to turn it around. And how can it's like, who's the person that will be willing to listen to you when you're not telling them what to do, but you're giving an example of what to do. And then you're talking about them. What I love about your son, Andy, Spencer rocks. He was in Cincinnati. And what Spencer does in such a humble way, because he's new, but he's not new, is that he gets to know his people. He knows everything about them, and he knows what they want. And to me, it's about what your people want and tying it to what they need to do. Once you know what they want out of this business, then you just connect it. It's like, oh, so you're interested in your wife not having to work anymore. And how much is that? It's $3,000 a month. Dude, you know what we can do to help you do that? Okay. Would you like to do that sooner than later? Like, when would you like your wife to, not have to work at a job? How soon do you want to do that? Well, I want to do it right away. Okay. So here are 3 things you need to do. Let's start with the first one. Do you got some leads? Okay. You know what I mean? We get them connected to what they want, to what they need to do.
You're talking to her how she should talk to her downline.
Yes, exactly. And then if you're frustrated,
her pay attention. Her pay attention. This is how you should talk to your downline.
Right.
But what if they ain't even through class yet, Avian? You know what I'm saying? That's. But okay, go ahead. What's her? Should her say to them?
Well, it's what do you want, and how do you need to get it? Right. It's your coin, the coin. It's this right here, and getting them started early with that mentality. And the only way you can get what it is you want is to dadgum get through class. Let's figure out how to get you through class quick. Don't take 6 months to get through class. And to me, that's the litmus test, right? How quick are they willing to get through class? Because that tells me how motivated they are to change their lives. Dude, I've got so many people coming on. I don't worry too much about the people that are taking forever. I'm excited about the ones that are doing it in 2-3 days, in a week, 2 weeks. And that's who I work with. The people get frustrated at their group. They're not hiring enough people, right? They're not hiring enough people, and they get mad at them because they're not moving fast. It's like, man, you need to hire 10 times more people than you are, because then you don't have to worry about that. And then it's thinking about me. How can these people get me to where I want to go? Dude, that is just so screwed up. It's like, I need to help more people that want to be helped. And that's one thing that has changed my business, bro. I poured thousands every month into recruiting and finding the right people. It just takes a financial commitment to find the right people, just like investing in leads. And that's why my momentum is going crazy, because I'm finding the right people that want to do this thing. And it comes out of quantity.
Andy, the other thing is, get underneath that person, and you can get a fire going underneath that person. You've always told us, that the fire, it comes from below. And, if there's a fire above you, no urgency. Fire below you, massive urgency. And so, how hard are you working to get that person 3-4 wide, 3-4 new people getting started with them?
Yeah.
And that will create that urgency to get them to move faster as well.
Putting pressure on the business, not on the person.
Did you just say DEPTH, depth?
Yes, sir.
That's a funny one, Avian. Put pressure on the business, not the person. Okay. So I had the benefit of hearing y'all. The one thing I would start out with is quantity and quality. Let's say you hire 10 duds. Their history is duddom, meaning one mistake after another, series of unfortunate events, never their fault. Okay. So you've got 10 people that have no money. No family will loan them money. They have no family financial support because they've cut ties with their family, or their family's cut ties with them. Start thinking about this. If you've got 10 duds and you're trying to make them into a stud, what are you? Jesus? Well, I mean, who are you? Are you with me? Like if you got duds and you try and turn them into studs, okay. Is that enough said on that subject? Now, if you got 10 studs, Alex Abuyuan has a master's degree in accounting or finance from the Air Force. Y'all know how I remember? Y'all know how I know it went to the Air Force? Because I look at his hair force. That's how I remember. It's not Army, not Navy. It's the hair force. He got an undergraduate and a master's. Is it finance or accounting? What is it, Abuyuan?
Economics.
Economics. Oh, that's both finance and accounting. Okay. He's smart. Adam Katz got a scholarship to go to college. Said, you don't have to pay nothing if you come to school here. You're so smart. His wife, same thing. We're talking, if you met Jenny Abuyuan and Alex, two of the sharpest people you ever met in your life. Well, of course you're successful. You have smart people. Cookie smart people. Well, this person is great street smarts. Well, great. If they're street smart, get them through licensing class. How hard is it? We have people getting through in 2 days and 3 days. Here's the next thing. If you have 10 duds and 10 studs, talk to them the same way. I got a medium. He's not a dud. He's not a stud. I don't know where he is. I said, bro, get through class fast. Well, here's what I'm dealing with. Like, bro, I'm starting to deal with a stud because he's starting to tell me what he's dealing with. Studs don't give a snot. I don't care if hell's raining down and it's the middle of a hurricane. Hey, let me ask you this. Abuyuan, I got a friend of mine that was in the Twin Towers when the plane started hitting it. The anniversary's coming up. You talk about urgency to get out. He had the urgency and he got out and he lived through it. He's got memories. I think I'd like to do a podcast and interview him. When you talked about the buildings on fire below you, there's an urgency. When planes start hitting it, when planes hit it, right? The other thing I thought about was, shoot, I lost it. Oh, well, speed to fix it. No, it's something else. Duds and studs. Oh, during 9/11, I was in my living room having a business meeting. And people said, should we go home? I said, we're going to leave the TV on in case we're at war. Because remember what happened is they wondered if we were at war with other countries. If we're not at war, it's just some idiot, then we don't want to lose today. We need to continue our meeting. Does that make sense? So my friend who was in it got the hell out and lived. Now he's part of our organization. What an icon in our organization. And I, by the way, I'm not going to talk with him about it unless he agrees. But you get the idea. I just want to do it for, get people to understand what some people go through and how you live. And then when this mess is going on, how me and Russell and some other people that were in my living room kept going during the middle of it. My dad died the month that I was forming this company in June of 2000. My dad had Parkinson's. He couldn't swallow it. I'm beside him. And he's like, I'm like, what is he saying? So we figured out, he's like, tell me about the business. So we start telling, he's dying, saying, tell me about your business, son. And I'm telling him all this stuff. And he's just like, he can't smile because you can't control his face. He's giving the nod. Well, or he's shaking. I'm not sure if he's nodding or shaking, but he's giving it this. And then he says, why are you here? He doesn't say it clear. It took us a while. Why are you here? I mean, I start crying if I think about it. Why are you here messing with me dying? Go build your business. Go build your life, son. Now, your parents might be saying, you owe me. Guilt trip, right? I don't know. Everybody deals with different stuff. Whether it's guilt, my mom does guilt trip when somebody dies. She'd be like, you remember Uncle Bernard? He died. You got to come to that funeral. And I'll be like, I remember Uncle Bernard, but I don't remember it like you remember it. You know what I'm saying? Like you might be putting you through a guilt trip, or they might be telling you and then you refuse to do it. Eric Belair. If you can imagine what Eric Belair has been through with his parents, he kept being a top 10 producer while hell was raining down. Abuyuan, you've been through some stuff. Katz has been through some stuff. So studs are more likely to perform during a hell rain down. So quantity, Abuyuan's right. So what if you hire 20, 10 of them are studs, 10 of them are duds? You've got a better shot. The next thing is lower the level of what you're trying to get them to do. Like, hey man, you've been really slow at getting through class, and I understand it's hard. You got to get it. You got to get them in it hard. It's been hard with everything that's going on in your life. You can't hit them with it's been hard. You got to get hard with what's all been going on in your life. I would like to give you something easier to do to see if you can accomplish it. Lower the rope, lower the task. Say, could you flip on your Zoom call, and watch it on your phone? Would you be, and you got to say it in a motivational, I'm not going to say not sarcastic, because you can sense the sarcasm in my voice. Like, could you do this? Could you get on the call and watch the other people talk? And, well, what good is that going to do? I don't know what good it's going to do, but I'm told by my manager that it will help. So let's do it. So does that make sense, guys?
100%.
You don't have to be a genius to talk people into turning on your computer and watching a Zoom. And then Davies comes on. Terry Edwards comes on. Adam and Abuyuan come on. And they tell them stuff from a different viewpoint. Just lower it. How about this? Mike Hardlip is going to be in-person training. Okay? Can you just show up, take notes? You don't have to study. You don't have to test. Could you just show up? And maybe they go to that meeting and they meet a person that they look down on, and they look down on them and go like, she passed. She did it in a week. He passed? Are you kidding me? Because when they come to the meetings, they see people that they think they're smart as, or they go like, nobody in construction's ever done this. I'm talking, I toted a hammer. When they say toted a hammer, that's when you know they mean it. And then they meet Jerry Burbage, right? Or they meet another one of our. So getting to a Zoom call. There's other meeting. What other meetings we got coming up that they could get to? Steve Memoritas in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Joe Dukes in Phoenix. So could you at least go? So we're coming to you, but at those meetings, and here's another thing. I'm not saying you are not motivational. I'm working my butt off to get people like nobody. I'll bet you nobody sent more texts to get people on your conference call, Adam and Abuyuan, than me. Not to listen to me, but to get on your call. Should you be mean to people or nice to people? I don't know. What do they like? Some people like it rough. Some people like it soft. Some people like it mean. Some people like to hear it like it is. Some people like innuendos. Name calling. I don't know. How about if you say this? Adam, you're a superior performer. You got a scholarship. Are you smart enough to get on a Zoom call and watch? That's name calling, ain't it? You're a teacher's fellow. All right, y'all. I want to say this. Does that help? Right? Does that help? Yeah. Thank you. Does that help? Okay. Is a hotspot only for agency managers and above? Every person who has a hole in their bunkie. I wanted to say what my football coach says, but I was like, I am going to get chastised for that colorful remark that my football coach said. So I went with everyone that has a hole in their bunkie should go to those meetings. Questions? Okay. Why? Because either you need the meeting or the meeting needs you. You will help by being there, or it'll help you by being there. That's why we congregate. The Bible says when two or more of you together, what's the biblical thing? I mean, it was two or more together.
Yeah. Jesus will be there.
In our meeting, if two or more of you together, the alliance is coming with you. If 10 of you there, Jesus is going to be there in force. If 1,500 of you there, he'll be walking among us, right? I mean, the power of numbers and motivation. But what would y'all, I mean, okay. Hey, by the way, I'm taking questions if y'all hadn't noticed. Yes, is what I got. Great reminders by a stud. All right, so questions that people have. Anything else, Avian, now that I had the benefit of hearing y'all, quality, quantity, lower the bar, relationships?
I think what screams at me from everything you've said is if there's any skill that anyone needs to be good at when they get started with us is the skill of the invite, inviting people to things, inviting people to boot camps. Well, number one, you got to know where they are. And then number two, learn how to create that desire in someone to get there through just inviting them. You don't have to be the magic, invite them to the magic. And that's that theme that's been running through the last 30 minutes of what you said. If you can be good at inviting, you'll have a huge business. We call it promotion. You can call it whatever you want. It's creating a desire in someone to attend something that will change their life. And dude, if we can get our people to learn how to do that better, geez, the alliance will just blow up way more, 10x, baby. If we get people to learn how to do an invite to anything.
Great at an invite. That's great advice. Any books? Think about this. Books or audios that help people get great at inviting. I'm gonna come back to you, Aiden. Adam, any follow-up, another punch at all?
In terms of books or along the same subject line?
Same subject of how do I get these people motivated?
Yeah, to me, it's all about relationships. It's people don't quit because they're not making money, and they don't stay because they are making money. If people feel valued and acknowledged, they're going to stay. I didn't stay with you in the Amway business because we were rolling in the money. We were not. It was because of the relationship.
How about that?
Everybody makes mistakes, but the relationship that you and Jane built with me and Beth is through the roof. And one of the tips that you gave me, a while ago was this. Spend more time in the cities you're going to. Don't just pop in, do a 7 to 10 hotspot, and then catch the first flight out. Don't get there at 6:30, catch the first flight out. Spend some time with your people. Take a little bit later flight in the morning so you can meet some folks for coffee and follow up. Get there a little bit earlier so you can meet some people, for dinner or something like that. Spend time with the people. Don't just be a meeting doer. I'm coming down to Tampa next week, and I'm going to be at the hotspot, but I've also scheduled my flight where I have time to individually get with a lot of the people I want to get with in Tampa. I'm not just in and out for the meeting. And so building those relationships one-on-one, and it takes time, and it takes focus, and it takes getting outside your house. It takes getting outside your comfort, and it's it's spending that one-on-one time though with people that's so critical to get people to move and to create long-lasting relationships, because that's what we want. We want long-lasting relationships too. We just don't want them to move today and then gone tomorrow. We want them to stay with us.
Prescription, Avian. Books.
Yeah.
Okay, if you build a relationship with a stud, it's not going to help as much. But building a relationship with studs, people that are successful, but advice and tips, books, resources to get better at inviting and better at relationship building. Take a minute on that, Mr. Avian.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to basics, right? Let's get back to the foundation we're talking about. step 5, attend all meetings. It's like when you go to a movie, when you go to a movie and you loved it, no one has to teach you how to promote it to other people, because you say, hey, Adam, that movie, you got to see it, dude. Seriously, it's going to blow you away. And see, the only way you can promote anything with enthusiasm is that you've been there. You've experienced it yourself. The basics of being able to invite is being there. Attend all meetings. Andy says here, attending meetings generates enthusiasm and motivation. It initiates questions. Successful people are excited about attending meetings. They know meetings are a teaching mechanism designed to keep everyone informed about company products and services. They are a prime venue for networking with other agents and clients. When you go to one and you're affected by it, it's easy to promote it because you've been there, you've been around the people that are providing the meeting, like Mike Hartlieb and Joseph Dukes and Adam Katz and all the folks that are traveling. You communicate that same excitement, that same vision that you got from a meeting in the same manner. That to me is the basics of being good at inviting, is you going to everything. And then number 1, you're the example. Number 2, you have the credibility and what we call a moral authority to be able to invite people in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then and to name a couple specific books in terms of the relationship and the inviting. A book, Alex, you and I have been reading for 30 years, Skill with People. And it's a little one, so it builds your confidence of reading. But Les Giblin, Skill with People, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Those are the classics. The Aladdin Factor by Canfield. How to ask better questions, question your way to success. I forget who the author of that one is. But those are books that help you connect with people, as well as ask questions to get them to move. I love the question game, and getting people. It's that old saying: a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. But if you can ask questions where it becomes their idea, then their commitment and their buy-in, goes exponentially higher. And so those books, I think, definitely help with that aspect of it.
Yep, absolutely. People don't want to be sold, right, Adam? They want to buy. Right. And by getting them to buy, you ask them questions and you guide them to the ultimate decision. Like, yeah, I do need to go see Mike Hartlieb in Treasure Island. Absolutely. And they come to that conclusion because of the questions you ask them. And good questions are, so remind me again why you wanted to do this business. Okay. And how bad you want to do it. What are you willing to do? Those kinds of questions to lead them to the conclusion that, as a matter of fact, I know he's a couple hours away from you, but one of the top guys who spoke at our last event, Mike Hartlieb, is going to be there. And man, if he just does 1/10 of what he did at the event in Treasure Island, man, it'll blow you away. It will help you get that goal. Now it starts at 10:30 a.m. Do you think you can show up about half hour early? You get a chance to meet the people there and then, settle in and get ready to rock and roll, man. Cause it will, you said you want this, it'll get you there quicker. Does that make sense? Is that something you think you can do? Those kind of questions, right?
Okay. And you're going to get this. I don't need motivational. I don't need to go to meetings. Guys, listen. We have a thing called Alliance University. Every single teaching is on there. So if you don't need the motivation and you'll go listen to all those videos, watch them, take notes on your own, undisturbed, not being motivated, you'll buy some leads, and then you call all the leads. Then you get some other people and get them to do all this. Then you don't need more. I get it. You don't. The problem is statistics. If you're not producing, and I look at your income and it's not there, you're not getting the premium, you can't tell me it's our system because you're not doing the system. We believe if you do the system, it's fail safe. Anybody 6 figures, and then anybody whose skill set and will work multi 6 figures a month. No way. Yes way. Yes way. These are two highly successful money. What'd you tell Adam? You show me your paychecks last month. How much you get deposited last month?
Over 60,000 last 30 days.
You know, when one of your friends was in Amway with you and other stupid things that you got them in and they make no money, and he shows you, leans over and says, "Look, I made 60,000 last month in my bank account." Like, yeah. This one worked.
This one worked.
I had a few calls to take. I jumped back and forth on it. I heard exactly what I need. I've already subscribed. Is getting a great response to this. There, by the way, our headquarters is super impressive. If you really, really, really want to check out headquarters, August the 4th. Actually, there's a meeting on the 3rd and the 4th in Burlington. There's an opportunity meeting on the 3rd that night at the home office. And then all day, there's a university training system. They got a whole elaborate agenda. The next day, Raleigh, North Carolina. I mean, just look at these hot spots. Now, I got one up and coming leader. He's got 6 or 7 people, nobody's selling. He's writing 20,000 a month. Should I go to Burlington? He's about 10 hours away. And it depends. I don't know. If you've got plenty of money, how about this? Do you have 2 people in Raleigh or Charlotte or Burlington or Richmond? They could go to the Burlington while you continue to pay your bills. Never been to the headquarters? You want to go check it out? Go to Burlington, North Carolina. Okay. Talk to your, I am the upline in this case, but he's got other upline, but talk to them and see what their feel for it is. Do you really need to? Right now, in your backyard, go and support it. But if you've got to drive 10 hours, it's maybe 11-hour drive for him. It just depends. If you got 12 brand new people going to be there, go. You got one person might be there, 2 people might be there. Let them be mites with Brandon Manley, Spencer Albright, with Mark Kent. Mark Kent, by the way, is coming on smoking. He's hiring in every daggum city and state. Alliance University. It's easy to find. Adam might tell me quicker. I will go to...
It's under resources.
That's what I clicked on. Alliance, underwriting tools.
A little further down.
AU Advanced Resources. That's Alliance University. Mm-hmm. You click on that, you've got the fast start, and you've got tons of training. So if you're looking for substance and how old can you be with this product and what's the maximum face amount, right there. Again, I'd rather you be around me. Hey, I want to tell y'all about this, y'all too, if nobody else listens to it. So I told you I was getting to go pick up Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
So I did that last 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
So social media, Jessica jumped in with me, my new business partner, my new venture. He, by the way, getting his insurance license, but we're starting the sports marketing. He's fired up out of his mind. We go but we'll open the door. And like usually we mill around. Here comes Phillip Rivers and Tiffany jumping up on the jet. And we're like, hey, calm down. We ain't going to leave you. And so we go outside and we're messing around before we go in there and we go back there and talk to him. You talk about a down-to-earth guy. I didn't know this when I picked him up, but one of my friends, I said, he made much money in the NFL. And they go, eh. So I pulled it up. It's a thing called Sports Track. Never heard of this in my life. I did it for Sports Track for Phillip Rivers. 17 years. He made $249 million paid to him while he was in for 17 years. What's the math on that? 17 years, about 240 million. 200. Let's do 250 to make it easy. $250 million divided by 17 years. Average
14.7.
14.7. Not bad. So people skills. So 10th kid on the way. One of my best friends has 11 kids and y'all had 10. He's like, we're not doing 11. And I was like, we're talking about your downline. When I texted you, Abian, I was like with Phillip Rivers, and I said, yeah, I told my buddy.
I was wondering.
Big time Catholic, and he's like, I got another Catholic friend, and she's got her 10th on the way. So got this, his oldest son, I think they had 3 or 4 kids before they had a boy. You know, he's an athlete, right? So he's looking for his girls are athletes. He told us all about that. His oldest son is a freshman in high school at St. Michael Catholic, and he's going to be the starting quarterback, and Philip is the head coach. And we're talking about how famous he is. He said, not in where I live. He said, you know, we're down here with Alabama and Auburn. And he said, they don't care about me. He said, I was in a grocery store, and the guy was like, what's up, coach? He was like, me? He said, oh, I am the coach. And so he's like, you know, it's kind of funny being the coach. This is a guy who made $250 million. But just hanging out with him and talking to him and hearing about just his life, getting to know him. We went to NC State. Listen to this. We raised $700,000 in 3 hours. I was like, I didn't tell them. I was like, we raised $250,000 at our convention for ministry. For, by the way, everybody that contributed and said, hey, I want to be a part of that, and contribute at least $10,000 a year. Think about that, guys. Boom, $250,000 a year going towards ministry. I'll match it with $250,000. Think about that ministry effort and these kids and the little girls that'll be saved, and people that are in their comfort zone maybe and not wanting to work harder. Like, I got so many checks I want to write for so many worthy causes right now, including worldwide entrepreneurs. But, you know, Brian Adams has a ministry that supports children. I want to give money to that. There's a Cancer Foundation. There's a never-ending source to give your money away. NC State Wolfpack. So listen to this. So this guy hand paints. Listen to this. So one of my friends, he says, I took it to the committee. I said, listen, let's pay this guy $5,000. Let's fly him in, pay him $5,000, do a hand painting with his hand, finger painting. That's what you call it, finger painting of Philip Rivers. And one of the members was like, it might not sell for $5,000. My guy's like, I will buy it for $5,000 and it'll be a break even. One guy says, I'll pay $5,000. It'll be a break even. So first bid, $5,000. Second bid, $6,000. Third bid, $10,000. Fourth bid, $11,000. Third bid, $15,000. $25,000. Spend money to make money. $25,000. It don't end. Another dude, he's right behind us. Guy's named Patrick. Talking to his wife. $50,000. The guy that said, I'll pay $5,000, $60,000. Jumps from 50 to 60, from 25 to 50 to 60. So the announcer says, you know, blah, blah. He was really good. He was in the audience. He's doing his thing, you know. And he says, this did not go over good, but it did work out. He said, listen, clearly 60 was going to win it. Clearly the other guy really wanted it. He said, if both of you will do 50,000, the artist will do a second one. Okay? So the guy who's the 60, he's not saying anything. The guy that bad 50 now has to come at 5. He raises his hand. He said, okay, I'll do it for 55 if I get that one. Well, the auctioneer looks at him. He says, sir, you don't own that one. That one's owned by the gentleman that paid 60. So if you want to go 61, you can get that one. But right now, you don't get that one at 55. And the guy goes, 65. So the guy at 60 goes, 70. And then behind it, the auctioneer comes over. How many? 6, 7, 7, 75, 75, 75, 80, come in. He goes 75,000, and his wife, they're just cohorting. The guy that said he would do 50, 80. And the guy goes, he's I'm out. Dude, and we're crying. Jessica got all this on video, you know. And so he's just, I'm out. 80,000, I'm out. So there's no mention of a second one. So everybody's going crazy, screaming for him. And I mean, this is an awesome picture. Philip put his hand in the paint and did that, signed it. So it's all over. And the guy raised his hand. He said, hey, listen, I'll take my 55,000 second portrait. I want one. if he'll do this and if he'll do that. They asked Phil, and he says, yeah. So 135,000 in 20 minutes on a they paid this guy $5,000. This guy's a badass. He does all over the world. You know, he's crazy looking, you know, with long hair, paint all over him, talking junk, doing this. You know, it's famous, and his agent was with him, and, you know. So I go to the guy, I said, 55,000, man. You must love. He said, you have no idea. You want to break in my house? Type in 1717. That's his number. Or password on my phone, Philip 17. Rivers 17. It's some combination of that. My kids always, he says. So I said, hey, I might have something for you. He said, whatever it is. So I go check with other people. I said, I don't want to offend anybody, but I want to invite this guy tomorrow to fly back with me. So I went up to him. I said, bro, you want to jump on a jet with Phil Rivers?
Wow.
So he's self-employed contractor, obviously not broke. Flies private jets. He leases a lot. He doesn't own his own, but he leases, and he says, you know, let me check, make sure, because I do have some appointments. He cleared everything. So, you know, just God.
Wow.
Yeah.
That rocks.
Raised $700,000 in a couple of hours to help these kids, you know. And, you know, you can argue that's not a worthy cause. We were riding back, and the guy's name is Patrick. He's like, you know, some of the people don't believe in paying the kids. I said, fine. I don't care. And I find somebody that does believe in it. You know, this one guy that don't believe in it, he's not the end of our world. But you should talk to him and straighten his mind out, because these kids deserve some money. But I'm not arguing for it or against it. I just know this. LSU's doing it. Louisville's doing it. Tar Heels are doing it. Auburn's doing it. We got to compete. We got to win. So if I think Megan Wood's buying $1,200, $1,500 leads a week, and you go, that's unfair. She can afford to pay for them. That's like me saying the Yankees is unfair because they can pay more for kids. Or Miami Hurricanes, the U down there, they got more money. We got to find people that graduated NC State that will invest. Even you got to find in your heart, your wife, your checkbook to invest in your business. Are you going to lose? The biggest investors, one of my famous marketing guys said, who's willing to pay the most for a new customer always wins. Who's willing to pay the most for a new Dan Kennedy? Dan's passed away. I won't tell his story again. Love that guy. Love that guy. Who's willing to pay the most for a new customer wins. Remember that for you, Adam. New agent. Who's willing to pay the most for a new agent wins. Heart, soul, sacrifice, on and on. You know, as far as like Jalen Samuels, listen to this. Here's cool. Day before yesterday, Bradley Chubb, kind of famous if you like football, plays down there in Miami, played at NC State. He's a good friend of Sean Boone. Jalen Samuels, big-time NFL player. John Guterman and Tom Murphy are playing golf.
Wow.
True that? So Tom, John, Boone, three of our guys are playing with two NFL players. The very next day, Jalen Samuels, one of the two, walks up to me. Hey, Albright, I heard all about you yesterday. And, you know, so it's kind of cool with walking around NFL players. Like I'm not losing my mind over celebrities, but it's just cool to be chatting with them. A couple of them sat at our table, and you know, Mika Mizzy just got released, but he's like talking to Boone. You know, these big time guys. It's just truly crazy what you get to do if you keep building this business, who you get to meet. Oh, I don't know if you're a country music fan. Scotty McCreery sang 6 songs and then just walked around chatting with people. We're taking pictures like he's, you know, world famous. He's sung all over the world. And he was like, I know you hang out with me on the sideline all the time. I was like, well, my name's Andy Albright. So next time we can say, hey, I know you, Scotty. You know, just crazy talk to introduce my kids. Haley's there, Brandon's there, Spencer's there, Meredith's there. The football coach gets up out of his front row and stands up, and I see him walking that way, looking at me, and he stops, hugs all of us, talks, and then goes back to his seat. I was like, huh, just I don't know. I'm saying I'm old me from Union Ridge, North Carolina, but I want Adam Katz, to experience stuff of his alma mater given to charity. Adam, you're going to have your name on a building in India.
That's so cool. That's so cool. The opportunity to give back, the opportunity to do something meaningful, and then, knowing my name's on a building or on a plaque or something like that's just, I'm just a 7th grade school teacher from Harnett County Schools. And this is, to be able to make a difference like that is just huge to me. Thank you for that opportunity. Because I couldn't do it on myself. I couldn't do it on my own.
Love you, appreciate you, proud of you, the momentum. Hey, listen, too, I'm going to call out to Adam's group. Who's going to step up and be his right-hand girl, right-hand man, right-hand partner who hits the road? Hey, who can travel as much as Adam on his team? Half as much as Adam. Who's willing to work, build relationships? You say, I am. Okay, great. It would be cool if we had 3 people who will step up like crazy on Adam's team. How about you, Mr. Abuyuan? Take us home. We're in OT now. We're in overtime.
Yeah. No, dude, I was very inspired by Merle, and I keep thinking, man, the more I give, the more I get. Like I can't outgive God, right? And the opportunity you've given us to create this mentality of giving has so richly blessed us and the people that we blessed with the money that we're making. And the more I give, the more it's amazing. And it's like what you've always said. And you've given us opportunities to really spiritually invest our treasure towards causes, towards other people. And truly, dude, I appreciate you for that, for allowing us that opportunity, and everything you've poured into us has returned back to you, I know, but we've gotten more out of the investment in us. So I appreciate you, love you, and Jane for that. And I'm very humbled by it, and humbled to be in this group with Adam. It at the end of this race, we know where we're going, and we can't wait to celebrate the things that we've been allowed to do to help other people. So at the end of our lives, right? Well done, good and faithful servant. And it's something you've always said, something that I carry with me all the time. So love you, man. Thank you so much.
Proud of you, brother. Proud of what you've done, the people you've already helped. Can't wait to see the next 30 years, Abuyuan. I can't wait to see Adam Katz. Hey, guys, hope this helps with everybody. These things, Adam, I found them. It's called POPL. It's really been remarkable to me. When people ask my phone number, I give them all my social media. I can't show you my phone because it's the way this light does, but I can show you this. How about this? You got a card? Yeah, I do have a card. Let me show it to you. Let me show you what it looks like. It looks like this. See if you can see it. This is my card. Mm-hmm. You see my card? Now, can you see on the back? Can you see what it is?
A QR code.
Yeah. So I got a card. Take a picture of it. You can remember it easier. So you got a camera, and you let them hover their camera over, and it gives them every contact information. I don't have an account. I wonder if we can get I'm asking Clay, can you check and see if we can get a mass discount deal? Yeah, that's it, Abuyuan. So for what it's worth, I like this on the screens. I liked it at the convention. Anyway, I love you guys. So proud of you. Send me little tricks and tips, right, as we go.
For sure.
Peace out. Let's go kill this thing. Let's get some people to these next meetings coming up. Later.
All right. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Y'all.